I'll do that quickly. In a world where Russia's probably going to invade Finland before the end of the year because they're not going to let them join NATO, more people will die of starvation than on the battlefield in Ukraine because we're looking at massive grain shortages, fertilizer shortages. Many countries in the Middle East and Africa get 70 to 100% of their grain from Russia, Ukraine. Nothing's coming out. Egypt is top of the list, Lebanon 100%, et cetera. So those people are going to starve and die by the fall. Supply chain is falling apart to an even greater extent. Poland might invade Western Ukraine. Don't rule that out. It used to be part of a Polish empire. Ukraine's not really a country. It kind of is. They're Ukrainians. But they're viewed as part of Poland, Russia, et cetera. And again, Russia, the problem with Putin is like the Fed. He tells you exactly what he's going to do. And our foreign policy elites is the weakest team I've seen in my lifetime, going back to, I was born in the Truman administration. They're just, I don't know what to say. I mean, I had a lot of conversation with Gary Kasparov. He cannot quite think 4 moves ahead, but he comes closer than any other human. 3 moves ahead is a grandmaster. 2 moves ahead is a really good chess player. 1 move ahead, you should be able to do that. We can't think 1 move ahead. We just do stuff, and it's just stupid. And Wally Odiyama, Deputy Secretary of the Treasury, never worked a day in his life outside of government, the Obama Foundation. He carried Larry Fink's briefcase for a year, but that just puts you in a different bubble. It's not like running anything. He's throwing these sanctions on. There isn't one sanction that has not boomeranged. Let's take the oligarchs' homes in Belgravia and seize their yachts and freeze their bank accounts. And we're doing it. Putin hates the oligarchs. Putin's support network is the military, the security services, the Orthodox Church, and the Russian people. That's his base. He hates the oligarchs, always had. He put Khodorkovsky in jail to send a message, and they're too powerful to kill all of them at once. But he said, you can keep your money, but keep out of politics. And that was the message of putting Khodorkovsky in jail. And they got the message. They kept out of politics. But now we're doing his dirty work for him. We're whacking the oligarchs, which he's wanted to do for 20 years, but couldn't do it. And we're doing it for him. He should send a thank you note to the White House, but that's how idiotic our sanctions are. And by the way, guess what the Russian oligarchs are doing? They're sending the money back to Russia because that's the safe haven. I mean, so we're getting capital inflows into Russia. By the way, Putin's making $20 billion a month, $5 billion a week in dollars, unimpounded on oil and gas revenues. The natural gas, except until about 2 days ago, is still going through Ukraine. Russia's pumping the gas. It's going through Ukrainian pipelines. It's being delivered to Western Europe and Poland and Romania and a few other places. Russia's still getting paid dollars for the natural gas, and Russia's paying Ukraine a transit fee. That hasn't changed. So Western Europe's financing the Russian side of the war, and Russia's financing the Ukrainian side of the war. It's true. And by the way, it's not a war, it's a special military operation. That's significant. I know that's international legal distinction. Probably most people wouldn't care, but it is relevant because it means that Putin just wants what he wants, and that the land bridge to Crimea, Mariupol, Donbass, Donetsk, Luhansk, Donetsk, maybe Odessa, we'll see. But Poland might take the western part, and Russia might invade Finland, and millions and millions are going to starve before the end of the year. This is stuff over the ridgeline that is not priced in. All this stuff we talked about earlier, yeah, it's priced, but not this stuff, and that's really what's going on.